You guessed it, Pressure Points, with your two gassy hosts. I'm AJ, this is Sweet Tea. We're at Season 4, Episode 35. Back on that bullshit.
Yo.
Find us on Instagram and Twitter, at PointsoPressure. I finished that faster than D normally does, so let's get going. I gotta be really quick on ending that and then disconnecting the soundboard because D has the soundboard. I just have a file on my phone, so sorry if this sucks. Nope, okay, perfect. Had to pull the cord so you wouldn't get my text messages. So let's get into the episode today. Joining me, Sweet Tea.
Hi there.
The regular host on this show. Yeah. What do you got for it?
Well,
No.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. No. So, D, I fired D. He's dead. Well, I fired him because he's dead.
Yeah.
And also because I just found his adopted dog's shit under my chair.
Yes, there's dried doo-doo underneath this desk here.
Which, I don't know when she came down here when we weren't down here.
Are you sure it's not human size?
No, it's not human size.
Okay.
I made sure.
It's tiny dog size.
I tasted it. It's dogs.
Okay. Tastes like kibbles and shits.
Yeah, kibbles and shits.
Perfect.
So, but the last time she was down here, I was down here recording.
You just didn't notice.
Did I not step in it? Did I not smell it?
Nope. She stealth-shitted.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but D won't be joining us today. He'll be back next week.
What happened?
He's a little bitch.
Yeah.
Who had to get teeth surgery as an adult.
He's getting his tonsils out next week.
Yeah. No, I got his wisdom teeth out. So he's in a lot of pain right now. Because he can't smoke anything.
We're thinking about you, buddy.
I'm not.
I am.
No, I
Proverbial we.
Yeah, I berated him about how good this episode was going to be and how much better it was going to do. So if everybody who's listening to this, listen to this episode and then close whatever app and then reopen it and just listen to like 30 seconds of it so we get double double the engagement.
Yes.
So that we can officially fire D. He's not going to listen to this. He said he would, but he was on Percocet when he said he would, so he's not gonna.
Oh, poor fella.
Yeah, so we're just gonna we're gonna shoot the shit. We're gonna talk about personal history. We're gonna talk about Sweet Tea's history again.
Yeah.
I think was it earlier this season that you were on, or this has been a long season. It's been this entire year, so
it's God. I don't even remember.
I think we had you on in February.
February. It could have been. I mean, since then I've thought if I ever come back here, way over here, through my backyard into your backyard into your house, that I would try and remember just some dumb stories from my youth, little short snippets here and there of what it was like growing up way back when.
Yeah, way back when in Mormontown.
Yeah, in the 70s and 80s. And
so you were around for all the bombings.
Which ones?
Unabomber.
Oh, yeah.
And the Salamander Papers.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. I know someone who was there working in that area right there when Mark Hoffman blew himself up on accident or whatever.
Accident/purpose.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. That story, if you want a good story.
Meet the Mormons on Netflix.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. We wouldn't cover it as good, although I think we might cover it even better.
Oh, it would be fun.
Shit.
That was
a
wild. Oh, we don't have that kind of time.
Cut the feed.
Cut the feed. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. If I had the soundboard, we have that clip.
You do? Is that?
Yeah, we have that saved.
Oh my God, that would be so good. So yeah, I know someone. He was able to tell his account to me one day of being there and seeing the smoke and seeing stuff blown all over the place and police everywhere, and they were sure whoever was there was dead because it was it was an absolute mess, but he survived so that he could, spoiler alert, go to jail for the rest of his life. Prison, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, just growing up in the 80s. Do you want me to start telling just a few stories here and there, or do you got something else do you want to?
Oh, I had something, but I got
we're gonna get sidetracked the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Get ready for this episode. It is history though. I will add the cop out.
It's my history.
It's your history. A little bit of Utah history.
Yeah.
And we have some shitty Netflix documentaries that you can reference. What's the one? There was that Utah guy in southern Idaho who jerked off that lady's dad.
Oh my God. We're going to have to like slip that in at the very end because that is the weirdest. Yeah, that guy who like.
He convinced the parents, one, that he was like going to take away their young daughter.
He took their little daughter and made her his wife, and she was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
And then convinced them about like aliens or something.
After months of.
Yeah, he groomed the entire family.
Yeah, because he slept with the mom.
Yeah.
He convinced the dad to give him a handy, and then he knew that neither of them would talk about his misdeeds.
Yes.
Because he had that over them.
Yes.
Because giving a dude a handy is worse than your child being raped by a middle-aged man
in the Mormon church.
In the Mormon church,
it was. Oh, that is a wild story.
I remember what that is.
We're gonna have to.
We're not. We say this every time.
I know. We gotta let you guys know, but it's maybe when I start telling a story, you can look up.
Yeah, I might Google
that. Google that Netflix about the aliens, hand jobs, and Mormons. I don't know.
That's what it should have been called.
My life with the. Oh God, I don't even know.
My life with the handjob aliens sounds like a Chuck Tingle book.
It sure does. Yeah, you think about that, and I'll tell a quick story. Okay, so back in the 80s, it was cool to wear denim jackets.
Anytime you say it was cool back in the 80s to wear blank, it's not cool.
No, it was cool then, though. Everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
A denim jacket, but it had to be Levi's brand. It was a nice cut.
Duh.
And so
acid wash or no acid wash?
Either way, it didn't matter.
Okay.
But
that's not true. It definitely matters.
No. At the time, it didn't. They were both cool. So on the front pocket, it looks like the back pocket with a flap. You know, it's got that. I don't know, that stitched cut. It's got a front pocket, and there's a little tiny tag, red tag. It said Levi.
Abducted in plain sight.
Abducted in plain sight. You guys have to see it.
Please.
It is a wild ride from beginning to end. We didn't even touch all the craziness that happened there.
Yeah, barely. And then, we've talked earlier, I think just on Sloppy Seconds, about like Elizabeth Smart. There's some weird fucking shit happening in Utah.
Oh, yeah. We've got our own strange history for sure. The colloquialisms that we use, on the daily here all have basis in the strange history that makes up this state.
And nobody even talks about all the massacres.
No. Massacres. We had murderers that were bodyguards for prophets of the Mormon church. We've had
laundering.
Yes, money laundering.
We are a really good site for cartels to bring in drugs.
Yes.
Into the Salt Lake.
Multi-level marketing.
Oh my God.
Makes billions in this state. Mm-hmm. It's a crazy place. I love it.
It's great.
It's its own.
It's got beautiful mountains. That's what keeps me here.
Yeah, and good people. People are mostly really nice, and that helps.
Yeah, in general. The people I want to be around anyway. Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, this jacket, it's got a tag on the front, and someone figured out somewhere in the world that you could put a .22 bullet, slip it into that little tag, and that meant you were even cooler. So it's like elementary, junior high, and high schoolers with a bullet on their...
Just one bullet.
One bullet on their jacket.
That makes you so cool.
I don't understand it. I never did.
Okay.
I was too poor.
When I was in junior high, the cool thing was how many bracelets you can get on your arm. The more bracelets you had and less arm skin you had, the more alpha you were.
Yes. So, okay. Every generation has this weird shit.
Not right now. God, I sound old.
Right now.
In some areas right now, actually, is, what was that called? They did it in the 80s where they would, make the pants into skinny jeans by rolling.
Oh, pegging.
Yeah, which has a totally different connotation nowadays.
Yeah, pegging your pants is something different now than it was back then. I didn't realize until it fell out of my mouth.
I knew exactly what it was.
Oh, I got you fucker.
But
yes,
it's basically that,
pants.
but with rubber bands.
Really?
So the more rubber bands you have, going up your pant leg,
the
more alpha you are.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, people suck.
So it makes what I'm saying not quite as crazy. Well, maybe it does.
No, it does. Yours is a bullet.
Yeah, I know. So it's a bullet. So I never really thought about how stupid that was at the time, but it was like, ooh, that's so cool. So I was at a Scout overnighter once. There was one of these two dumb brothers that were part of the Scout group, kind of. They wouldn't wear the uniforms very much. They didn't really care that much. Well, one of them,
but there were shows.
We were standing around a fire one day, and one of them decided to take that bullet out, clandestine, like, out of his little Levi Jacket tag, and just throw it into the fire. Like,
oh my God!
Like it's like someone who's not really paying attention, and they pick a boogie, and then they just roll it and flick it, and don't even think about it.
Yeah, and it lands on your face.
Yeah, so he was just like, just kind of picked it up, put it, and just kind of threw it in the fire. Well, we're standing around, and there's this huge pop, and we're like, what? What was that? What was that? What happened? Was it like a rock? You know, because rocks can split in a fire and pop like that. Well, no, it was this bullet, and it went through his own kneecap.
Oh my God, did it?
Yes, it did.
He kneecapped himself.
He kneecapped himself. It went through his kneecap. Scout overnighter over, because of this dumbass
bastard.
Yeah, that was about it. It just went, it was a through and through. You know, nothing ever happened from it. It was a tiny little hole.
Except when he turned 40, he'll never walk normal again.
Yeah, exactly.
It
just kind of mostly went through the skin and just like chipped a little bit of the patella off. So that was the first time and not the last time I've seen a bullet hole in a body. So there you
go. That reminds me of a camping trip I went to when I was young.
Yeah.
I remember it as being my first, like, Boy Scout. Oh, I got to go to an overnight. But because it was the first one, I didn't know anybody.
Ugh, annoying, you know? Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do this, but I don't know anybody. I don't know, like, the Scoutmaster. Like, I'm brand new to this group, and they're camping, like, this weekend, and I just turned old enough.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
Yeah.
But I had good gear. It was the middle of winter. I didn't even know the plan. I don't know if...
You just show up.
Yeah, seriously. They're like, oh yeah, he can come on the trip. I'm like, okay, bring winter clothes. Okay, don't know what that means. Very cold night.
Like 2 pants?
So we hiked along a cross-country skiing trail in an area that had about 6 to 8 feet of snow packed.
Jeez.
And we had snowshoes, which was awesome. But, like, it was my first time doing this. Like, I didn't know how to use them. I didn't have any practice.
Oh, yeah.
So we made it in, finally. It felt like forever, but it was probably only like a mile. And there were igloos there already built.
Oh.
Which was awesome. Like the kind where you go under and up onto a shelf.
Yeah, yeah.
The inside was already all iced.
So, yeah, it keeps the heat in.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic trip. But we were trying to, like, find... It was at, like, a campsite, so we were trying to find the table and the fire pit.
Yeah.
Under 6 feet of snow.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were just kind of randomly digging and just, screwing around, whatever. And we finally find roughly where the fire pit would be, and we're like, yeah, we can just throw a fire here. So we dig a little hole, start burning it. And, as you build fire on top of, 6 feet of snow, it slowly melts down, but then it melts all the things on the outside. So we basically, by the end of that day, we had an amphitheater.
Slow tunneling down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we basically had, like, seats.
Oh, that's wild.
It was really cool, and we had stairs on each side and a little area around the fire, so you get really close.
Oh.
So the next morning, I'm sitting there, and, I got one of those puffy jackets from the mid-2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Those puffy, super synthetic jackets. Very important detail.
Oh, yes.
And one of the kids, who I only saw at that trip, and I literally never saw him again in my entire life. We were just sitting around the fire, and it was really cold, and I was soaked. I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
I didn't know to stay dry.
Miserable.
I just didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. It ended up still being a good trip, but I needed to warm up. I'm sitting right next to the fire, and this dude pulls out, the mini Gatorade bottles with the twist caps, where they're like, just a little tiny
little shorties. Yeah.
And it's got like half an inch of a yellowish fluid in there. I'm like, is this a spitter or something? I don't know.
Is that pee-pee?
Is that pee-pee? And he opens it and says, "What's this?" Boom!
Oh.
It was gasoline. And it literally caught my jacket on fire. I just whoo, and I look down, and it's just like right over my left tit.
Oh.
And I'm like, whoa, and I go, and it goes out super quick. But I look down, and my jacket is dry in that one spot.
Oh, you got something there.
And we're like, what the fuck did you just do? And then he put the lid on it, and then threw it into the fire.
Nice.
So
the fumes.
And then it went, pop! And I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Could just imagine this kid at home, like in the carport, with an
Gatorade
bottle thinking, I'm just going to bring like 6 tablespoons of gasoline to this trip.
Yeah, right?
Okay. All right, that's cool, I guess.
Whatever.
Way to go, kid. Oh, my God.
I love it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, lots of good, also slightly horrific memories from Scouts.
Yeah, little, what did we used to, like, I used to tell you what I called Boy Scouts. It was like, eco-terrorists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very
much so.
That's accurate.
Hey, there's a tree there. Let's cut it down.
Luckily,
because we're bored, right?
So I was a nerd. I actually worked at a scout camp.
Yeah.
And I taught environmental science, nature, and tracking. Like,
yes.
I wasn't an eco-terrorist. I was more of just a terrorist.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is great.
Those were good times, though.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I loved coming up there to spend the weekend, on the off days and stuff.
No,
hanging out
fun.
with you guys. That was a blast.
I got more stories from Boy Scouts after yours.
Perfect.
So we'll just go back and forth.
Yeah, I'm just picking things from this list that...
your shitting list?
Yeah. I'll do a quick one. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you about that about the time back in the late 90s, I guess, that pierced my belly button on a dare. Okay, this was when body piercings just became kind of a thing. I can't remember when it was. 90s, maybe. Could have been early 90s, actually. Yeah, probably. It was... Sounds about right. Mm-hmm. But they didn't have, like, piercing studios really doing their thing. So you'd go to Claire's at the mall, and they would use a piercing gun.
Yeah.
And then shoot, like, a regular ear piercing stud.
From the gun?
Yeah, from the gun into your belly button. And then you have to leave that in for a couple of days, and then they give you a hoop and say, you got to shove this hoop in there. I didn't want to keep it, right?
What the fuck?
But that's how they did it.
That's how they did it?
Yeah, right
God,
at the
first. I'm glad piercing technology's come so far.
Yes, it has. So of course. And my wife was my girlfriend at the time. She was with us at the mall when me and 2 other fellas, this like grown-ass adult and 2 like late teens kids.
You were hanging
myself
out with
including
2 late teens?
No, I was a late teen.
Oh, who's
in the late teens.
Oh, was the adult your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was
No
our boss
grooming
and our
here.
friend. No, not that kind. Because he did it too. But we all got that done like that, and it was awful. But we laughed our butts off, and we tied our shirts up like belly shirts and
Well, of course.
walked around in the mall with these things. And yeah, she was not happy with that. But so then we see each other after the weekend, and only one of us has his in still, because mine and another guy's like got infected instantly.
I bet.
I got cellulitis on my belly that I never got treated. I had to get like a string and some pliers to pull that stud out of there because it was so swollen you couldn't see it anymore. Both of ours were infected. The other one was like, oh, mine's not infected. I got that hoop in there. And I was like, yeah, but are you going to keep it?
It's because he got the first one.
Yeah, exactly. But then 2 days later, he was like, I'm not coming to school today.
No, did he
I
get
went to go
infected?
pick him up. He was infected, yeah.
Oh,
I was like, holy
he
God,
just had a
dude.
better immune system.
Yeah, he was probably the first of us 3 to get it done, and they probably were.
What'd it cost?
Oh, it was cheap. I mean, it was at Claire's, like that place in the mall where teeny boppers get their ears pierced.
So like $5, $10?
Oh, it's probably like $20.
Okay, hold on. $20. I'm doing a conversion.
Okay.
We'll say 1993.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, let's see. I love this. Oh, shucks. So that's a $40 piercing.
Oh, Jesus.
Nowadays.
Oh.
Wow, inflation. Your
it
generation
doubled.
has really fucked my ass.
So belly button piercings have doubled.
No, they're actually cheaper now. because they're only like, I don't know how much they are.
They
actually.
were 20, now they're 4. I don't know.
No, it's $20 in 1993 is worth $37.91
Oh
today.
my God. Okay.
Sorry, that adjusted for inflation.
Yes. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I'm with you.
I love adjusting completely arbitrary numbers for inflation. Just so
I wonder
you know.
what was happening.
It's just a personal hobby.
Okay, no, that's good.
So Boy Scouts.
Okay.
So many grand memories. I went through a lot of it with like one friend or like two friends. I did not care at all for a lot of it. I was there for me. I wanted to learn the skills. I wanted to get the badges for myself. Like, I wanted to learn the cool forest shit. Because that's what I'm into.
Right.
Because it was funded by the church, there was a lot of churchy shit, but I mostly skipped that. But
that's why you didn't know as many of the kids, probably.
Yeah, that's exactly
because you were friends with two of them outside of scouts in school, and that was about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember the struggles of that.
Yeah. So, of course, I'm gonna forget exactly which story I was going to share right this second.
Oh,
but,
poop.
I'll have to come up with a good one then. We were last talking about the fire.
Yeah. Eco-terrorism.
And just regular terrorism.
Yes.
A little bit. Oh, here we go. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Boy Scout camp with one of my friends. There were... Oh, here we go. Okay, two quick ones. It was basically... It was the same week.
Okay.
So we were counselors. And one of the areas, of course, was just called the Haunted Forest arbitrarily because you have to have a haunted forest at a Boy Scout camp.
Of course.
So we are... got two two kids in the troop that he's like the friend of. Like he's the counselor who's assigned to this troop.
Oh, yeah.
To like help them if they have any questions or help them through their classes, whatever.
He's their rep.
Yeah, exactly. And he's been telling them ghost stories that we just blatantly make up. And they want to go into the haunted forest in the middle of the night.
It's part of the experience.
Part of the experience, and it's just two of them. The other group, or the other like part of the group, did not give a shit.
Okay.
Everything good? You looking over here like something's wrong?
Is that what it's supposed to kind of jump like that?
Yeah.
Sorry, we got ruined once when we did a great podcast and then it didn't record, and I was sad.
Yeah.
So, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
sorry.
it's good. It's good. It's just a little slow.
Okay.
So. The thing about working at a Boy Scout camp is that you have very rigid bedtime and wake-up time, and it's usually about 7 hours.
Okay.
So any amount of time that you have to sleep, you want to sleep. Yeah. So I made a huge sacrifice for this kid. Because he said, I want you to go up to the forest before us at this time and scare the shit out of these kids. And I was like, okay, why not? Fuck it.
Sure.
I don't care. And so I was up in this forest. I knew exactly what trail he was going to take and the time he was going to be there. I got there about 10 minutes before, which was a mistake because I felt like I had to pee the whole time even though I didn't. Like playing hide and seek.
Yes.
So I'm just out there. I'm like, what the fuck am I even going to do? Do I jump out at them?
Yeah.
Do I don't know what to do. So I get to this point where you kind of have to come up a hill and then you kind of look down and then the trail just continues. So I'm on the other side of the hill from where
they wouldn't see
up.
you.
So they won't see me until they're at the top of the hill, and I'm at the bottom.
Right.
It's a very small hill, but big enough. And I just I don't know what to do. So I just stand there. I tuck one of my arms inside my shirt. And I tilt my head to the side, really exaggerated.
Yeah.
And I stand there for about 4 minutes.
Oh.
And then I hear them talking. I see a flashlight. They come up over the hill. And this dude is such a ham. Growing up, he was great because he was so hammy about everything. He would play everything up. So he came over the corner, shined the flashlight directly at me and said, "What is that?" And I make a choking noise. And the kids scream and run directly into the forest, off the trail.
Oh. So some Blair Witch shit right there.
So I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble. So I ran back to my tent.
Leave him.
He found the kids very quickly.
Good.
He walked them back and said, no, it's Well, he started off trying to pretend like it was real because he always went too far with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then he turned into some Jesus-y thing about how, like, Jesus protects us even from scary things. And then he told them it was fake.
Oh.
I don't know.
So he said Jesus was fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
No.
good.
So I don't know how we didn't get in trouble. But these kids did not rat on us.
Ah, see?
And he didn't rat on us.
Ain't no snitch.
And thank Christ, because I would have lost my job.
Oh, my God.
Straight up.
Jesus.
A couple nights later, I was playing tag through the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the kids that was in the troop that I was playing with tripped over, the strings off of a tent?
Yeah.
Yeah, tripped over one of them.
Yeah.
And we heard the tent rip. And it was an expensive tent. It was a Scoutmaster's tent.
Oh.
And the guy went, "I'm sorry." And the guy in the tent was like, "Just go to bed." I just didn't know what to do.
I don't know
and we just
what to do with all these tit-sucking little turds, and I gotta be in charge of them. Hate them all.
We fucking ran.
Ruin my tent.
Luckily, it was dark enough, and we didn't have flashlights. So they never would have found us.
No. Who's gonna snitch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, fantastic.
Oh, those were good
damn
times.
near gave somebody a heart attack.
That's what it's all about, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it wasn't in the 90s, or the 80s. Then I would have been stabbed by somebody who's living in the lake.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Oh.
Plenty of that.
Last thing, really quick. This is the coolest thing I did. Alpha Chad confirmed from this. My friend had a sheet of paper that was basically just a big sticker. Just a sheet of paper that's just a
it's like sticker. A pull-away sticker, yeah.
So we cut designs out of it,
and
then taped it onto our biceps, pulled up our sleeves, and then fell asleep on the dock. So that we would have. I had a peace sign.
You don't want the Playboy bunny on your arm.
No, I did a peace sign tanned on my bicep, and it was there for the rest of the camp, and it was great.
Oh, that's so good.
We got really bored. Some of those weekends,
you did have some
nothing.
Yeah, some off time. I remember one of those weekends you spent driving into the tiny town and getting your finger stitched up.
Yeah.
And you got your knife taken away.
Yeah, well, the knife that they knew about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was whittling something and it split, and I still got the big old scar.
Oh yeah, I remember that was a good one for sure.
Yeah, had to drive me into town.
Yes.
Stitch me up.
Yep. This old ass doctor is probably a veterinarian as well.
Oh, he was an old dude.
Yeah.
There was another guy who he was such a shit. It was great. He went to this camp 10 weeks. No contact, the outside world, washers and dryers, but like you literally had no time to do anything until the weekend.
Yeah.
So he brought one pair of socks, one pair of underwear,
no,
one uniform. He figured he would just do laundry every night and just sit in the laundry room naked, I guess.
What a moron.
Like, his plan was to start the laundry, go take a shower. Yeah, because we're showering every night at Boy Scout camp. Yeah, okay. Even if the water was, safe to do that in.
Yes.
And then come back and get dressed. What an idiot.
Dummy.
He also brought the one weapon that we had access to that was banned, which is a fixed blade knife. And then he threatened a bunch of scouts.
I remember.
Yeah, he was teaching a merit badge, and then he just stopped teaching them and was like, "Let's just play with knives. Let's throw knives into this tree." So he did that, and then he was like, "If you guys just go along with it at the end of the week and don't tell anybody, I'll just give you the merit badge. I'll just sign the paperwork. And if you do tell anybody, I'll come and kill you
with this knife."
With this knife, it's a tiny pocket knife.
And everyone's gonna snitch about that.
Oh yeah. So of course they immediately did.
Oh yeah.
And he was fucking out of there so fast, which was good because nobody liked him and he smelled so bad.
Well, yeah, he had one uniform for an entire summer living outside.
The first week is Hell Week.
Yeah.
Where you have to. It's called that for a reason. The weather's still bad. All the trails are flooded. You're trying to put the camp into order, building giant teepees and getting supplies everywhere. And,
yes.
like restoring trails, doing some conservation work. Yeah, it would snow one day and be at 90 degrees the next.
Yeah.
And clearing trails, opening up the cabins, and kind of getting the fucking getting the raccoons out of the cabins.
Yes.
Shit like that. And God, he stunk. Also that week. I know I'm just stealing this show, but
no, it's all yours, man.
This one week, that week, they put too much chlorine in the water tank.
Yes.
Dude, we had people passing out. Like, it would be normal to be going down the main trail in the camp that was, at that point, still 2 feet of mud.
Yes.
And there would just be people on the side passed out.
This is not good.
They had to send a couple kids to a hospital.
Oh.
I threw up every day, every time I drank water.
Yeah.
Because it was so bad. They put... So it was a 10-gallon tank that, like, the water is brought into. Which it should be clean, but it's from a spring, so they have to, like, legally treat it.
Yeah.
Because they're giving it to people.
Yes.
And also the spring was fucking dirty.
Was it?
I know it was dirty. I went to it once. It was not good.
Ugh.
So they put, like, a gallon of chlorine in a 10-gallon tank.
Oh, my God.
It tasted like just straight bleach. It tasted like I was drinking bleach. Oof. Immediately you start shitting and throwing up.
Who's the moron?
And passing out. The fucking, the handyman. Camp handyman.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, it was bad.
That is
like,
bad.
It was bad
You had
enough
to flush it through, right?
that some of the people, it took the whole week to flush it through.
That's right.
Because of the water rate. So, like, some of the closer people would, like, their families, if they were close, would bring them up water, but not very much.
Yeah.
Like, not enough to share.
No.
And then the office workers, which are the adults, I had water bottles. Like, Dasani.
Nice.
Didn't get any for us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. They did not give a shit. They're like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine. It's that burning in your eyes means it's clean.
It's clean.
Yeah. That sore throat, that's normal. That's fresh. That's fresh spring water. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Yeah, those were some good times.
Good times. No, I still count those as good times.
Yeah.
Good experience. I know exactly how much chlorine I can drink to get away with it.
Still survive.
Because I had to, like, it got to the point where I would have to, like, time the sips. I couldn't drink a bunch of water all at once, no matter what. So I'd have to, like, time this, just a sip. Oh, it tastes like bleach. Awful. 10 minutes later, another sip.
Just to make it through.
Just to survive.
And not shit.
I almost drank mud water from the trail.
Yeah. That would be almost better.
Yeah.
It's more natural.
More natural.
It's more natural.
I'll get immunity from that. I'm a fan of natural immunity.
Yes, exactly.
Now, for the first time.
Yes. Now it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention anything about the polio vaccine, my mumps vaccine that I have, rubella, the tetanus shot that I get when I stepped on
that on you when you were a baby.
a nail.
Yes.
The hepatitis shots that I get for working in areas with blood.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Flu
just
shot.
Natural.
Not
just
natural immunity.
Herd immunity of hepatitis.
Yeah.
It works great.
It works great with AIDS.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get herd immunity.
Yes. Way to go,
Hell
people.
Yeah.
Speaking of that area, though, it just worked out where you were at scout camp that we have a family cabin that my grandparents built long ago, just a few miles away from there.
Oh,
and actually
perfect.
It was my family on my mom's side who had donated the land to the Boy Scouts that, built
made that camp.
That made that camp. And so I remember being with my brother-in-law once. He'd married my sister.
Oh, yeah.
And they had just purchased their first, I think, new vehicle together. It was a Blazer.
Always.
Why
really is it always a Blazer?
Dude, I don't know. But he and I went up, up the logging hill into the woods and...
Just dirt roads.
Beautiful.
Some creeks.
So good. We started...
Animals everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We had our guns with us to go do some target shooting, clay pigeon, that kind of stuff. And we were driving up this hill. And a family of grouse walks across the...
Oh, yeah. I didn't think you were going to tell this story.
Yeah,
your biggest guilt moment.
It is my biggest guilt moment. There was a family of grouse walking well ahead of us, 20 yards maybe ahead of us across. So he stopped so that they could run across. And I was just being a joker. And
being a goof.
Being a goof, goofing like you do.
Goofing.
New boot goofing.
New boot goof.
And I had my little pistol, and I reached it out the window sideways like gangsta style, and just popped a shot off just towards them. Maybe get out of the road, you fuckers!
Like not.
I wasn't trying to hit
them,
them.
just
no,
like in that direction generally.
in their direction, and allegedly
Allegedly, very good. Okay,
that bullet went right through the neck of one of those grouse, and I felt so horrible. I couldn't have hit them if I tried, but I did on accident. I felt so bad. I still feel bad to this day. So we get out, their whole grouse family scatters. We run up to it, and it's just dead. Yes, I ruined everything and didn't know what to do. And my brother-in-law just walks up to it, just kicks the body off the side of the hill down a cliff, and you know, no body, no.
I think it's no weapon, no evidence.
No body, no corpus delicti, something like that. I don't remember.
No body, no crime.
Yeah, there you go. So no body, no crime. So that didn't happen. So then I felt bad.
Allegedly.
So we decided to get, allegedly I felt bad because that happened. So not allegedly, but really we got drunk. And then on that same hill, if you turn back around, you can get going pretty fast. There's a cliff on one side and trees on the other. And there was a big bump, and we decided, let's see if we can get this thing off all four wheels at the same time.
Brand new Blazer.
Brand new, and his wife doesn't even know this.
It's okay. She doesn't listen.
Okay, good.
But her daughter might
sometimes.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
It's fine. It's
so
fine.
we ended up, like, jumping that thing in the air like the General Lee on the Dukes of Hazzard, and we could get all four wheels off at the same time. And one of us would be in the car, the other one would be outside, drunkenly watching as it come tearing us around the corner and just fly into the air. And then we never told anybody. We drove back to the cabin area, and we tried to just be chill and not be close to anyone because we reeked of alcohol.
Smelled like, yeah.
Yeah, but that Blazer never worked the same after that. It was rinky dinky. It was squeaky. It was kind of the frame was probably a little bent. We never said a word.
Never.
No.
Admitted to that. You know, I recently went a little off-roading, and the road got a lot worse than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I fucked up my suspension.
Dude, that's an old-ass vehicle. It's not meant for that kind of stuff.
I didn't think it would be that bad.
That's okay.
It used to be really, like, wobbly when it hit, like, 85.
Yeah.
And now it's really wobbly when it hits 70.
Oh, okay. So
it might also be my alignment.
Yeah, it could be an alignment issue.
I also really need new tires.
Yeah. I drove a Mercury, just a car, like a four-door car, in the, where was it? Death Valley. There's a road that you can only take to get to this place called the Racetrack Playa.
I was going to say Devil's Racetrack?
Devil's Racetrack.
Yeah.
And it's a four-wheel, high clearance only. And I had gotten that far, and I wanted to see that so bad. I was with my buddy, and we're like, let's do it. So we drove that trail, that awful trail, 30 miles. In the middle of nowhere.
30 miles?
Oh, yeah. In the middle of nowhere.
I looked at that trail from the map, from like satellite images.
Yeah.
Because I really want to do it.
Oh, it's amazing.
I was like, my car with high clearance SUV could not make it.
No. It was a Mercury Sable, I think. It was.
Oh, my God.
It was not supposed to happen like that, but it did. And we made it. And I thought we were going to die, but we made it.
Oh, that's like the time we died in the desert almost.
Yeah, same area.
Yeah.
You start at Ubehebe Crater, and there's a trail that gets you to a place called...
I remember seeing the signs.
The tree with the tea kettle junction.
Yeah.
It's where all these tea kettles are just hanging. People have brought them and written on them and just hung them off of this tree thing. It's really cool.
I love that area.
Oh, it's so amazing. It was somewhere I'd always wanted to go. So I was glad I did it, but we could have died out there for sure. Yeah. We were not in the right vehicle for that.
You're like those Asian tourists who died in that van.
Yes. No, it was German.
German. It's always German.
Yeah.
It's the Asian tourists who take a lot of pictures.
Yes.
It's the German tourists who
die in the desert.
Yeah.
Way to go, buddies. Okay, I got one more story that I can think of right offhand. So that same bloke, my brother-in-law, we had some good times together. So we, as much of a liberal as I am, I like my guns, right?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
There is not.
We've already established the canon on this show that I am anarcho-primitivist, but I also like guns.
Yes, absolutely. And, I
also am not self-deluded to the fact that I think I could take on a government entity with my guns.
No.
Or that I ever would.
Or I want to.
I would never want to even hurt anybody with it.
Absolutely.
I like to go to the desert and go boop, boop, boop on
exactly.
mannequins that I find in the middle of nowhere.
I enjoy it. I enjoy target practicing. I can't hunt. The grouse thing ruined me for hunting. I felt horrible, and I would never do that. But that's just me. So, but I like my guns, say. So my brother-in-law and I go out into the West Desert area with some of his friends that I don't know very well.
I swear I was here for this.
Did I tell that story?
No, I thought I went on that trip.
If you were really tiny. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of a different time somebody got. Never mind. Okay,
yeah.
keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So he's got some of his friends. Yeah, he's got some of his friends with him, and we're playing it safe. Everyone's got their stuff set up. We're shooting targets, shooting clay pigeons in an area that's deemed safe to shoot.
Yes, BLM.
Yeah.
Non-prohibited area.
As long as you pick up your shit. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make a mess. Clean it up. So we're out there, but one of his friends is secretly drinking, and 99 bananas, a bottle of this shit called 99 bananas.
Oh my god, isn't that really shitty vodka?
It probably is.
I'm pretty sure it's really shitty vodka.
I don't know how they get 99 bananas in that bottle, but they do. So he's been drinking this whole time, and it's muddy out there, right? Mm-hmm. So, our hands are cold. We had to make a little fire to warm up the little flinger that flings clay pigeons, because it's rigid. It's it's freezing.
It shrunk so you couldn't use it.
Or it's just rigid, so it doesn't give that fling.
Yeah.
To let those clay pigeons fly. So, but it's muddy. It's above freezing. But it's really cold and wet. And so he decides, we're all lined up, ready to shoot some stuff, and he's got a shotgun, and he just reaches out holding it with one hand and just shoots, and that thing goes ass over tea kettle, flips, and lands in the ground. Well, he reaches over, picks it up, and as all of us turn towards him, starts saying, "No." That's exactly what happened. No, he picks it back up and does it again. Well, it had
one-handed
landed
again?
Yeah, it had landed in
mud, right?
Mud. And he shot as we say no, and a huge explosion, and then ringing in my ears, and probably everyone else's, right? And it's smoky, and something's happened, and a bunch of shit has hit my face, and everyone else is looking away because something just happened, right? And I was like, what just hit me in the face? It didn't feel like the pellets hit me, but something did. And I look over, and this gun looks like it's been in the Looney Tunes cartoon. It is split halfway up the barrel into these little curly cues. Several splits up the barrel, these little curly cues, and he's holding it in his hand.
And he's got black soot on his face.
And his hair's back with little ties, yeah. The mud all over his face, on all our faces, that's what hit us, was the mud and whatever, gunpowder and everything.
The mud at the velocity of a shotgun
shell.
Yeah,
exactly. It hit us all in the face.
If there was a rock in there, you'd be dead.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. So, and we're like checking ourselves, like, is everyone okay?
Because you won't feel it.
No.
If you don't know about
first,
you won't feel it.
Yeah. And now I understand what that means, is that, I could have been hit with something, but I didn't. So, and we look over at the guy still drunkenly holding his shotgun, and look down, and there's blood coming out of his belly.
Not bad.
And we're like, holy shit. And I think I might have been in nursing school at that time, but I don't remember. I could have been a nurse by then.
I think you were still in school.
I might have been. So I just said, hey, pull up your shirt. Let's see what happens. Thankfully, he had this big rotund belly.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right. So he's just like, oh, it's nothing.
It's okay to have my body type, because it'll save me from a gunshot.
It'll save your life. And so he's got a hole in his belly, and there's no exit, and it's bleeding some, and it's already bruising, and we're like, oh no, we got to go. And, if we even had cell phones, they would not reach anywhere near there, right?
Like, You don't know how bad this is, how
Yeah.
if there's shrapnel, like
Yep.
further up.
Exactly. Everyone
Oh,
else was
God.
okay. We go to put our stuff away, and there's that empty bottle of 99 bananas. Who the fuck is this? Well, it was his. So
No.
he was like, I'm fine. I'm just going home. Take me home. And so I think I must have gotten dropped off first because I lived in Salt Lake area. That was the first one right there.
From
And
this experience, because you lived.
yeah, I lived in Salt Lake at the time, and
No,
so I was the
yeah.
first one to. Yeah, I lived. Thank Christ. So I was the first one home, and I said to my brother-in-law, I almost said his name. I said, "Dude, you've got to take him in somewhere at least. If it's not the ER, at least get an X-ray.
Get to a vet.
Yeah, get to a vet. I don't care who. He just needs to be seen.
Go to
'Cause
Price.
What happened?
They have some vets who work for the mob. You're good.
Anything. I don't care. So he ended up finally talking him into going to just a clinic. They X-rayed and they're like, "Yeah, you got a chunk of looks like metal in your belly." And so they went in through that same hole. I don't think they had to open it up much more, and were able to extract from his adipose tissue, his fatty belly, a chunk of the barrel.
Oh my God.
And if he would have said what happened, there would have been an investigation.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think so, because it had to do with guns.
Yeah,
So,
if it's guns and drinking, like he could have been charged
there
by
could have
a
been
lot of shit.
absolutely. So I don't know what they made up. Probably said something about how something blew up in a fire, campfire, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but there it is. That was that's the last time I said I'll go shooting with you anytime, but I'm never going shooting with your friends again.
That reminds me of a time I went shooting with you, him, and one of his friends, I think. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. It was a long time ago. But, oh, no, we've told this story on the show. Where he shot an engine block, bounced off, and then hit a little concrete ledge behind him, and then went directly into his ass.
Yeah, it went into his hip, but it didn't break. It hit the Levi. It hit his Levi's.
Yeah, it barely broke the skin.
Yeah, and so
remember it
it was a
bleeding a little
nice welt and bleeding a little bit. That's right, because it was a smaller bullet. I can't remember, but it came out of an
It was
AR-15.
like a 223.
I think it was, and it just popped out of there, hit an engine block, and came right back at him, and it scared us to death.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were lucky a
yeah.
lot of times.
Another time we went shooting out in that West Desert area,
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was somebody with a Jeep, a silver Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And we were out there shooting whatever, and then the Jeep was dead.
Oh, yes.
And then we had to jump start it with, like, a coat hanger.
No, it was wires that they
And some
had. It was some
wires?
Romex wire, the kind of wire that you use to wire a house.
Yeah.
And I happened to be, two of us had to hold wires on one end
with their hands.
with our hands so that the two, because these guys are all like, they were all these like blue collar workers. They understood electricity way better than I do.
yeah.
I don't get it.
I am
And so they were
envious.
like, they were like the MacGyvers of cars, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they were able to hook up somehow through some wires that were stripped, and got to to the Jeep, right? And then they fired up one, and I was
You were holding one.
I was holding one of them,
because I was standing there watching
and
you.
it I didn't get electrocuted, but it burned my hand.
Yeah,
I
it
got
burned the shit
yeah,
out of you.
it did. It left just a line welt across the palm of my hand, but it worked. And then we moved that Jeep forward, and that whole time the heat of the Jeep as it was sitting there had started a little smoldering fire
Yeah,
underneath that
there was
fucking
just a
Jeep.
square.
Yes,
I remember
we're
there
like,
was a bush on fire and
"Ooh, you're
sagebrush.
so lucky that it was wet at the time."
Yeah, and that we saw it.
That we
I remember
saw
you guys
it,
kicking
yeah.
the shit out of it.
Yep.
Oh.
There was some good times, but some crazy times.
Yeah,
Been through it.
we've been very lucky.
Absolutely, I would think
I've
so.
gone shooting a couple of times since then.
Yeah.
Luckily, haven't had any issues like that. The only people I go shooting with are really responsible.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I learned my lesson that day for
Yeah.
sure. That I got to know the people I'm around
Yeah.
and to take it seriously for sure. But I still love it.
oh, it's so much fun.
I still
We
love
need
it.
to go sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. We just need to find, maybe there's a closer good place. But that's for
There's a
after
place
the
that's
fact.
like an hour away,
Well, that
and that's my favorite
West
place.
Desert is
It's an hour away.
an hour away. We just drought season, so we have to make sure we're in a good spot. But yeah, we're talking about inside baseball stuff, but maybe we'll talk about it after sometime.
What? Inside baseball?
Yeah, meaning. Oh, you don't know that.
No.
It just
I was
means,
born in the late 90s.
Yeah, it just means like you're talking about business stuff when you shouldn't be talking about business stuff, you know.
I don't mind.
Yeah. If we were talking about the behind the scenes of a podcast, this is probably boring for everybody.
All right. No.
Never mind.
People love these stories.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story that'll be about 10 seconds. As when Twitter first started.
Oh my God,
For a very short period of time, my handle was Teen Laquifa. And I decided I didn't want... Oh, I was so mad. I decided I didn't want to do Twitter, and so I got rid of it. I should have kept that name, because I think that's the best name I've ever heard on Twitter. But now someone else has it. Teen Laquifa, everybody.
Dox them.
I know.
Tell them,
I need to know who
tell
it
them
is.
to give it back.
They're probably way better on... I don't do Twitter, really. I just watch other people.
But get them to listen. Go tag our podcast.
I will. I was like, I used to be you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. That's fantastic.
Yeah, what are we at now?
Oh, wow. We're doing pretty good. Maybe this is going to be a boring episode.
Yeah, probably.
We're at 50 minutes.
Oh, I thought we were just going to do a shorty episode because D wasn't here.
Because rest in D.
Rest in D. He's dead. He won't be alive until next week.
Yeah. And I fired him until next week.
And he won't be rehired until next week.
Yeah. Until next Sunday at 8 p.m.
That's right. Last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how you do a podcast,
That's yeah. I guess we're good.
Okay.
Coming soon, I have some topics that I might. I do this every once in a while where I say, "Oh, this is what I want to talk about," and then I never talk about it.
Yeah. I've
been saying that about Jerry Lewis's "The Clown Who Cried."
Oh yes.
For the entire length of this podcast.
Yes.
I'd like to get together with you to do an episode on that.
Okay.
Like we sit down, watch what we can about it.
Yeah, if we can find any of it.
I found a reading of it where they merge the clips that are available with the original actors like 20 years later reading their parts.
Oh, wow.
For the entire thing.
That's a big deal. If you don't know anything about it, don't look it up.
Don't look it up.
It's the coolest, it's the craziest story that you won't even believe. But
and then
makes me laugh.
More World War II.
What? You do World War II stuff?
Less Adolf Hitler getting pissed on by his niece. Just kidding. I actually had another one. Maybe some more Australia stories. Those seem to be a big hit for some reason.
Yeah. We just heard about one tonight.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm talking
at a little get-together we had, so I won't say anything about it.
Mutiny, pirate wars,
yes,
sex slaves.
Yes.
So, if you want...
My nipples just tingled. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Did everyone hear that?
I heard your jeans.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, that was great. That was a running joke in Archer in some of the later seasons.
Yes.
I just heard you get hard.
I love that.
So good. So if you're interested, if you like this, even though this wasn't our normal show, it's okay.
Thanks for indulging me.
Of course.
People. I appreciate it. Chance to come hang out. I enjoy listening to this podcast, so every once in a great while I love coming in and just seeing how it all works. It's a nice studio you have here.
Oh, upgrade, glow up.
Yeah,
and
beautiful glow up.
I just remembered Bear will be joining us. In October. We've already set up a date. I'm not sure exactly when we're gonna post that episode. It'll probably be around it, but just in case we have to move stuff around, I won't say exactly when.
He's a great guest. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic, smart dude. Fantastic dude. Super nice.
Tells a good story.
Especially when he's drinking.
Yes.
And I want to catch
you
up
guys
on
just
him.
let him tell his goddamn story.
No, we before and after we actually talked to him for like hours.
Oh, really?
And
that's cool.
He's got some cool ideas, some cool stuff that he's going to be working on. So I'm looking forward to catching up with him. And
nice.
We'll see you soon, Bear, if you're listening. I don't know if you listen to every episode or just the ones you're on. No,
that's all I do.
I know you do. But yeah, so keep a lookout, keep an eye out. We're gonna be back to regular broadcasting next week. I'm sure I'm gonna make D do the next episode.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, it's his turn. I did the last two.
Yeah, you suffered through my dumb stories.
No, they're great.
Get back to business at hand.
Yeah, so I always try to say this, but D usually does the closing, and I just also realized I didn't have a very important web page up.
Oh, yes.
So while we're I just did that wrong. Whatever. Okay, so while we're kind of closing, tell your friends. That's the best thing. If you could just tell somebody who you think would be into a podcast about history. Maybe not this episode, but some of them.
Please no.
Tell a friend. That's the best thing you can do to support our show.
Word of mouth, for sure.
Yeah. Besides maybe Patreon, patreon.com/pointsopressure. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find the list because if you are on here, I read off your name.
Yeah.
So
shout out.
Yeah, exactly. Until it gets so awful to name a lot that I'll have to not do that anymore.
Still do it.
I'll probably still do it.
Yeah,
Just like
sure.
The last 10 minutes.
Yeah, all the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah, or that's actually a good idea.
Read them off.
Thank you guys so much for supporting us on Patreon. You let us buy cool microphones.
Yeah.
Even though we still have the original ones. That's okay. Abby, AJ's third nut, Lindo, NSA isn't real, D's nuts, which is not D. He just messaged me. He does not. He wants you to know. It's not him. Nordic Thunder, Toddy Waddy Poopy Snotty, Dark Runner, Haley, and Casey McFacey. Thank you guys so much. What else is to say? Oh yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Points of Pressure. We're not really active on there, but if you want to talk to us, send a message on Patreon. Even if you're not a patron, I think you can do that, and I'll respond. If you want to talk to D, social media, message, slide into our DMs, show ideas, music recommendations, food. If you're not in the United States, please send me food and or recipes.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, that's just what I've been about, and Google is horrible for trying to fool it into giving you English recipes in another country that does not speak English. It catches on that you're actually in America.
Sneaky.
Stupid.
Sneaky Pete's.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah.
I thought Google Translate would just translate in English. But you have to actually know a little bit of these Scandinavian languages to actually Google shit there.
Oh.
Who'da thunk?
Who'd have thunk it?
So yeah, send me some recipes. I really like cooking. This is the part where I trail off and D usually takes over. So we'll see you guys next time.
Tits.
And did you say tits or toots?
I don't know.
Okay. So we'll see you next time next week Monday. We'll see you then.
Okay, bye.